To show you just how easy it is to transform your classroom for students who struggle when you register for Math Engagement Academy, I want to share 5 quick and powerful tips to engage even your most struggling students. Let's jump in. The easiest way to show you is just to show you exactly what happens when you log into Math Engagement Academy. And the first tip that I have for you that is really going to help you engage your struggling students is that you have to make your classroom a safe place for sharing ideas and making mistakes with math. My favorite way to do this is with an activity called respect circles, which I'm going to show you right here. So my favorite way to do this is to use this activity to ask students about what the word respect means to them. You would, print something out like this, create a new circle for each word that defines the word respect to you. Be sure to include ideas about a respectful classroom too. Think of at least 3 words or phrases. So I have 3 circles here for them, but you would want them to add more. And the whole idea here is that we want students to be able to share with us, what does respect look like to them, to their peers, as well as to us, their teacher, and then be able to have a larger class discussion about what respect means in our classroom. How will we show respect to our peers while we're doing math? How will we show respect to the teacher? How will the teacher show respect to us while we're doing math in that class in this classroom? So that's my first tip, to engage your struggling students. My second tip to engage your struggling students is that you need to provide opportunities for active participation with open-ended math prompts. So the best way to do this is to check out the 6 core engagement structures, which is all in module 2 in Math Engagement Academy. Also the 6 core engagement structures quick guide. Again, here they all are. You saw them in the mini workshop, but here they all are again if you need to take a screenshot. And inside a guide like this, you get the sort of process, the directions for that, as well as some really fun, in this example, which one doesn't belong, some really fun, which one doesn't belong activities that you can just start using with your students, right? So asking them which one of these doesn't belong, and then moving it on to math, right? Moving it into a more mathematical discussion with linear functions image sets, right? And asking students which one doesn't belong. There is no correct answer here. The purpose is that all of these can be correct. It's all about students, how students explain their reasoning. And that is a very powerful tip to engage your struggling students. The third tip that I have for you to engage your struggling students is that your lessons and notes cannot be visually overwhelming. And so to show you what I mean by that, and to show you just a really quick tip, the Math Wars method is my most popular workshop. It's also the Module 3 Masterclass 3 inside of Math Engagement Academy. And I just have to show you exactly how to get everything all set up. So inside of the Math Wars Method workshop or Module 3, you will get access to this extensive guide to help you with implementing the Math Wars method. And instead of asking students to open to page 254 or opening their workbooks or something, that's very visually overwhelming for our students who struggle. Just printing out a simple graphic organizer like this, where students have just a couple of boxes, blank boxes. They know that, okay, number 1 is going to go here, number 2 is going to go here. It's just a lot less visually overwhelming and a lot less math for them to see while they're trying to engage in your class. So and sometimes kids don't know where they need to write the notes, right? And so this just gives a little bit of guidance. And so I really, really suggest not making your notes and lessons visually overwhelming for your students. And just a quick graphic organizer like this is a really quick way to achieve that very quick and powerful win. The fourth tip that I have for you to engage your struggling students is that you need to use activities that get students to focus on only one problem at a time. And there's a couple of ways that I love to do that. They're all inside of Module 4 of Math Engagement Academy, engaging activities. But my favorite activity are scavenger hunts. So if you're unfamiliar with scavenger hunts, let me open an example for you. If you do register for Math Engagement Academy, you get access to a whole bunch of done for you scavenger hunts at the pre-algebra and algebra 1 level. But if you're unfamiliar, you put these on student desks, and I like to have them work in groups, and I would just put about 8 usually out because I had about 8 groups, and they just solve the one problem at their desk. So solve the system of equations. So they would solve this, and then they're going to look for their answer around the room. So not only are they focusing on one problem at a time, they're getting movement in our classroom. So, oh, they see, okay, well, the answer is -4, -2. So then they rotate to this station and they solve this problem. And then they solve that one, they look for the answer, they see that answer, they go rotate to that answer, right? So you get the point. And it is one answer at a time, it is kinesthetic, and it is self-checking, because if students don't see that, if they work this problem and they don't see -4, -2, they know that they have an error and that they need to correct something. So it is immediate feedback about if they are understanding the concept or not. So I absolutely love scavenger hunts, and they will totally engage your struggling students. And my final and fifth quick and powerful tip to engage your struggling students is the most overlooked tip to boost student motivation. We talked about it in the mini workshop. It is how we talk about our assessment practices. And so I want to show you just a little bit inside of the Rethinking Math Assessment framework that you would get access to. And again, it has the implementation guide that you download. And I just want to show you one page on this as we think about creating our questions that we need to create this more equitable grading approach. We want to think about simple, complex, and challenge questions. So think about, what was the most basic skill or topic we covered this week? Jot down some ideas here. Complex, what was the meat of the lesson this week? Where if your students got it right, you know that they know it as well as you taught it. Jot down some ideas. Challenge question, what is something not specifically covered in class that all students could answer? And then you're going to create your assessment. Number 1 will always be one simple question. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 will always be complex questions, and number 5 will always be a challenge question. Now, inside of the workshop, I go in depth and tell you how to grade this using the rubric. I tell you how to convert that rubric score to a percent system. But just for now, it is really important that we be thinking about strategic question asking for our students and then grading them based on that. So I hope this has been super helpful and that you've enjoyed these 5 quick tips to help engage your struggling students. If you have any questions about Math Engagement Academy, please let me know. Otherwise, see you inside. Bye.